Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are the League of Ridiculous Conversations, and this is new. Usually, if you're familiar with us, then you know that we goof off on Tuesdays for the podcast. We goof off again on Thursdays for Co-op Thursdays and play some video games. And then we keep goofing off on Sundays playing whatever game. Usually we kill each other in Red Dead Online. But thanks to the comic gods, we are going to start making some friends. And our first friend we're going to try and make friends with is Charlie Ragnarok.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here and being the pilot episode for LORC Makes Friends with. This time around, it's going to be Charlie Ragnarok.
Yeah.
So, how have you? What's your experience with podcasting? Have you?
I've
bounced
done a
around
couple. Yeah. I've done a few. Just kind of. I've done like a couple interviews and also just kind of talking about silly stuff too. So that's like it for my experience. So this is I think like the fourth one I've been on.
So you'll have to tell us.
But
Grade us at the end of this and let us know how it was.
will do.
Thank you. I'm Anthony, in case you don't happen to know. My best friend Leland, there on the other side.
Hello.
And for at least this segment specifically, between the four of us who are usually for the podcast, Jordan and Steph, who are lurking behind, whoever seems to be maybe most relevant for the guest, for the topic, we'll throw on here. Charlie, who has a comic book out there. It's long titled, so that's why I'm looking away. So I worked at the mall. The Vampire Cult Story. I would say no better two from the podcast than both Leland and myself being old school goths or adjacent to, and longtime mall workers back at the height
audience.
the height of malldom. I worked in the mall from 99 to 2008 with maybe a small break in there.
Yeah. So that was like prime time, huh?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of, I mean, in the last great iteration of what a mall was, because there's 80s malls and that's a different mall.
You're never going to beat that 80s mall, but
no. I spent a lot of time in there in a couple different stores. Same with Leland. We've had the cool jobs in the mall, working at the movie store and the music store. And I also sold shoes in a JCPenney.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, because a lot of the story, I sold shoes.
I caught that, yeah.
Yeah. That was a big part of it. And then...
You said the cool job, and I was trying to think of like, but they were all cool, and then I remembered the JCPenney's. It's like, there it is. That's the one.
That's the juxtaposition.
I think most mall jobs were seen as like cool jobs. Maybe not food service. My friends who worked food service did not like it, but
unless you worked at like hot dog on a stick.
Yeah, maybe like a stand, like a fun stand. But yeah, people who worked at like the sandwich shop were like. The sandwich shop got crazy. Those people were partiers at my mall really? Anyway. Yeah, they partied. Yeah.
Oh no, I remember because Anthony, you at one point you just worked in the Sam Goody.
Yeah.
And at one point I was bouncing between Suncoast, Sam Goody, and Walden Books at a kiosk. Like I felt like I was every day just going to one of the others. And I think I even maybe did part-time at Spencer's for a while, or maybe I just knew people who worked there. I don't remember. It's like 25 years ago for me. All this is a blur.
Yeah. Also, just working at the mall is a blur. You meet a lot of really weird people. And it was to the point when I worked there, I was like, I'm going to write a book about you people. Mostly people I worked with, but like there were also some really weird customers. But I was like, I'm going to write a book about you people. And I did. And now it's going to be a yearly release with lesser known comics, just all of my weird mall related stories. Cause I have that many that I can like come up with multiple books worth.
Annual graphic novels.
Yeah. So I think especially being a female, like
Weird's gonna
Weird like just doesn't even begin to cover it. Like the next one, so I have one I'm working on for this year, and I'm thinking the one after this one, so next year's will be about some weird guys that incessantly hit on me at the phone store. I used to work at a phone store as well. I worked at a shoe store and then a phone store. And a guy offered to be my sugar daddy, and that's a story. That's a tale. So that'll definitely make it into the comics. So
this was like somebody who was persistent.
This
like,
man,
regularly.
I have never been hit on this persistently in my life, except this one time. Like, you know, there's like guys throwing like their little like, you know, trying to get your number, shot. And then there was this man. Like, it was crazy. It was
that's gross.
It was so gross. And he literally, get this. Okay. Keep in mind, I was the youngest person at the store, 19, and I'm goth. I'm putting on like new wave music in the store. And he walks in and he's like, is this your music? Like, you're the youngest girl I've ever met to listen to the same music as me. And then he literally mentioned that he was 52. I was 19 and he said he was 52. He's like, oh, you know, I'm turning 52. And he's like, he looks at me like up and down. He's like, but you know, I don't feel 52. And I was just like, yeah, so that was weird. But I use that to my advantage. Like when I worked sales, because I would just be like, okay, well, back to the product. And then he like bought a bunch of stuff from me. So like, it ended up working out. But like, so again, I think just being a girl, you attract like a different kind of weird, you know?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Stephanie on the podcast is a weird magnet. Only the best stories happen to her. And then if you're goth, if you're dressing outside of the cultural norm,
then that's another kind of weird. Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, when you said sugar daddy, I could not imagine anybody under the age of 50.
No, and the thing was, he wasn't ugly. I'm just like I'm not that kind of girl, you know?
But that's not like, the point. That's creepy.
It's still creepy. Yeah. And also, I'm pretty sure
have got to stop doing that.
I'm pretty sure he mentioned that his kids were like in their 20s, and I'm looking around and I'm like, sir, I'm younger than your children, and you are trying to smash. That's weird.
No.
Okay? Like, nah. Sorry. No, and I was like, no. I guarantee, like, and he was like flashing his hundreds. He's like, you know, and he said this like 50 times. He's like, you know, I make more than a doctor. Like flashing the hundreds, I make more than a doctor. And I'm like, oh my God, like he just would not stop. And like the music too, he's like, you know, I used to see these shows back in the day. Like I was just like you. Oh, he would not let up. But I was like, in my head, I'm like, sale, like get the sale. Like
I've seen those guys like in like specifically like in clubs and whatnot, those who like try and throw like their
I mean, he had money, like
sure. No, it's like I saw that band like at the height. Like those are the guys I'm talking about. I've seen those guys in various different scenes of just like you're essentially bragging that you're old.
You're old, like
because it's not a brag that you put out to someone who's like relatively your age, because they've probably also seen it, unless it has just kind of come up naturally in conversation. Oh, I saw this band. I'm like, oh, I wanted to, whatever. But to like throw it out like it's going to bring you clout. I can't imagine a possible situation where that is not at least a 10-year age difference.
So like you saw them before I was born. Got it.
Yeah.
Like,
so when I was in junior high, you were getting drunk and sniffing coke at, you know, whatever place, seeing whatever band.
Right.
Nope. You're a gross old man.
Ugh. Big cringe.
So I got something to live up to.
Yeah.
So goals. So in the vampire cult story, semi-autobiographical, how much percentage wise is true in that story?
So this is like 99% true. The only thing that is like as weird as it is like almost entirely true. The only thing is at the very, very end, I had to kind of like wrap it up. And like, while the girl did get fired, it was maybe not that sensational or that rapid, but you know. So yeah, but really, other than that, it all happened. It was real. Like
all those characters existed.
All those characters. Yep, that really happened, and I was like so shook by it that my whole college experience, I was like, I have to make a book of this. It was actually my my bachelor's like thesis project was that comic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I did it, inked the whole thing, and I had just this travesty of a cover for it. It wasn't supposed to be a cover. It was I made a poster for the like venue it was being displayed at for my senior show, and I just ran out of time and I slapped this heinous cover on there. And then I was like, okay, the inside's good. I was like, we got to redo the cover. I got to color it, but other than that, it's done. And I showed it to Mark when I started working at Lesser Known Comics. He's essentially my boss there. And he was like, nah, this is good. Like, this is funny. So then now it's, you know, going to be a yearly release. So that's really very flattering that someone thinks I'm funny. That's always good.
it's good. I read it last night and like even if it was more like made up than it is, I still recognize like, oh yeah, I have seen people,
you know,
like
that guy.
that before. Yeah, specifically like working in the Sam Goody days, because that just brought like everybody like of all cultures through there. So we definitely like had a lot of weirdos and whatnot, and just being that young and I was both the manager as well as like the main character. Like I being now where I am, I'm like, okay, I get it in all directions. It was a lot of fun. And I'll say it for the first time. I'll say it for the first time. I'll say it many times. If at all this sounds good to you, everybody, if you go to lesserknowncomics.com and put in promo code LORC15, you will get 15% off your purchase. So, hey, everybody, we got a promo code. How cool is that?
We finally got a promo code?
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, all right. I'm done.
Yeah, right?
No, we hit it. I don't got a podcast ever again. 10 years. I'm retired.
I've made it.
It's like we're good.
Link is in the chat. So if you want to, there's a bunch of books, including previous guests, super good human beings, Gabe Valentine, Digital Lizards of Doom. If you have not gotten off the Kickstarter or Indiegogos, you can get volume 1 and 2 of that book over there.
Yeah,
I just got some in the store the other day.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Finally,
I ordered some from Well,
right on.
You know, Diamond, great company. So you know, they finally delivered. It's good times. Ordered them 6 months ago.
That's a big yikes.
I mean, I assume they were on a boat.
You know, chain distribution, shipping things, stuff.
I mean, Diamond's been having COVID shipping problems since before the pandemic, so it's wild.
Yeah. If you're familiar with Diamond, it's like they've always been in a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I hear.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it completely makes sense that people would do the independent route and doing it on their own, because to go through Diamond is a real pain in the ass, logistic wise for them and for, you know, a store. So when people come in and they're like, hey, I made a comic, and they hand it to us and we put it on our, like, you know, local rack or whatever, they usually sell because people know that they put time and money and blood, sweat, and tears into their, you know.
It's like when everyone was like selling CDs out of like their trunks and making more money than if they signed a deal with legit, you know,
that's
distributors.
That's truth, isn't it?
Yeah. You know, and now that we got the internet, everything's
I would say about 50-50. Some of the books that come in from local people who did it are actually pretty good.
Right on.
Yeah.
Some are real bad, but we still put them up there.
Yeah.
But you know, because that person
We're
took
supportive.
the time and energy. Yes, we're supportive. They made it. Good for them. They lived their dream. Cool.
Hopefully the next one will be better. They'll improve.
Hopefully
with
the next one is our dream.
Yes.
The consumer's dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I was telling my friend about how I am like a commercial artist, and I really like to make stuff for other people and making sure that they like it. And other artists are like, no, I only work for myself, and I'm kind of like, well, you know, you might suffer popularity wise because of that. So
yeah,
it's a double-edged sword depending on what you want to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as we are all trying to impress Charlie, have a good time, no better funner thing to do on the internet than take a quiz. Since Leland and myself are old school goths, Charlie new school.
I don't know what I
guess.
am really.
Yeah, a piercing pagoda. I don't like those words
pagoda?
next to each other.
Yeah,
I don't like those words
seen
next to each
that?
other. That's not sanitary.
I haven't heard the word pagoda in so long. Like I got a tickle just by that. It's like, oh yeah, they usually have those things. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not Claire's. It was like more grown up than Claire's, but they did ear piercings and like earrings and stuff. But yeah, they apparently talked a lot of shit about like people I knew at Hot Topic. So just saying. I still remember. Still bitter.
Did you ever get to work in a Hot Topic?
No, I had friends that did. I worked at
dream.
Journeys, which was technically a competitor. I don't really see why, because I don't think Journeys is like that edgy, but
no, it's not the same.
Yeah, it's
our Journeys
really
was mostly shoes.
Yeah, it was almost entirely shoes, so I don't really know why that was like.
I mean, they're competitive in the sense that young people both shopped at them.
Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah,
you know. I see, like
Hot Topic had shit shoes.
Well, when did you work at a mall? Like what?
God, let's see. You guys are gonna be like, oh, you're a baby, you're so young. I worked. I think it was 20.
Here comes a teen.
I think it's
a teen number.
I think it was 2013 to 20. Okay.
So you would say
17.
Hot Topic was no longer scary at that
point.
No.
And get this, my mall had one of the last portals, like the scary door, like the round door. They called it the portal. And we had one of the last ones in the country. And then our mall manager screwed them out of their rent like contract or whatever, and they had to remove it.
Lame.
And we were all so pissed that the portal was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean those scary Hot Topic days, like that's 90s.
I did see like the last fading glimmer of that. I feel like a lot of it now is like it's mostly nerd culture.
It is.
It's like definitely not as goth. I see some pieces in there. They have some good pieces in there, but
I feel it's kind of come back. Like for what I like in a Hot Topic, there's a section in the aughts where I'm like, nah, there's nothing for me here. But it's come back around. The nerd stuff has helped me out. Like, okay, you get the exclusive Elvira pop. All right, I'm gonna come in. Okay, I'm gonna buy some other shit.
I love her.
No, I lost that ring. I had a ring from Hot Topic that I lost. Like to me, it's kind of come back around. I mean, it was always the dream as a teenager when I was putting in my like the same applications every week. It was always there.
Right, you were like, please let me work here.
Yeah, look, my hair is long. Come on.
I look cool, I promise. When I worked at the shoe store, the dress code was like one sentence. It was like, you have to dress trendy and cool.
Oh, wow.
And like that was literally it. Like you could wear whatever you wanted. You just had to like look hip.
Right on.
I'm not even kidding. That was like in my contract.
Nice.
So I was like, all right.
Such a broad term.
I just have to like look like a cool kid, I guess. Whatever the hell that means.
I stomped around in platform knee-high boots between aisles.
See, I have a Matrix jacket. I also have like big platform boots, and it's funny. I always say I can make fun of people that wear Matrix jackets because I wear a Matrix jacket. So like, it's fine.
I legit, absolutely, and I loved it, and I miss it. I had a trench coat, duster to the floor.
Yeah.
single line of snap buttons and a priest collar at the top. It
Sick.
was lightweight. It did not keep you warm, but damn, that motherfucker flew in the wind like a gorgeous bird.
I love that.
It got stolen out of my car.
The drama. No, it got stolen.
It got
that's
stolen out of my
terrible.
car. And I legit would take long ways home because it got stolen right outside like my apartment complex. I would like make long ways around just to see if I saw somebody wearing it because I was going to get
beat
that
them
coat.
up and like take it back. Yeah.
The only
Never
visual
happened,
I have is I remember you were late for one of your shifts and you came around the corner and it bellowed behind you looking like Dracula 2000. And I just laughed my ass off because I was like, not only are you late, but you flew in. Like,
yeah. Like a bat out of hell, right?
Yeah. You had that like Dracula Untold bats coming behind you as you stopped.
That's what I wish would happen.
It's what happened in my mind.
Yeah.
All right, let's find out what kind of goths we are, so we know how to, take care of our Twitter profiles.
Yeah.
First question.
Pick a tarot card. I love that. I love tarot. Are you guys into that?
If someone I know knows how to do it, I will indulge. I don't put any stock into it.
Learning. See, the way I see it, people think it's like magical, mystical, whatever. The way I understand it is it's more of a tool of meditation. So it's showing you your situation from a perspective you didn't consider.
Okay.
That's like how I view it personally. Like, and I do believe in like a lot of spiritual stuff, but it's almost like with tarot, you can't draw the wrong card because they're all relevant at all times. It's just helping you look at it from a different perspective.
Okay.
That's how I would explain it.
I do
have several
love
packs,
the
but
art.
mostly for the art.
Yeah.
I
Some
do
people
love
just
the art
collect
on
them.
tarots.
Yeah.
So picking a tarot card between the Empress, the Tower, the Magician, the Devil, the Hierophant, and the High Priestess. No art to base any of these off of. I will choose the Magician. I do not know what any of them mean. I am just into magicians.
I'm stuck between the Empress and the High Priestess.
So do you know what those cards represent? I mean, I assume you do.
I don't know everything. I'm still learning.
Okay. So still
yeah, I have like
fairly
a vague understanding. They're both obviously like powerful feminine, so I like that. The Devil card also because like I'm edgy, so like why not?
Hardcore.
Right, I guess I'll just go with High Priestess.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the Tower, but I have no reason why. It was just the word that spoke to me.
It's so funny. The Tower's one I know. People are like, oh, like that like the Death card isn't bad. The Devil card isn't bad, but like if you get the Tower, it's kind of like, oh, that one's kind of bad.
Yeah, I'll chance it.
I mean, it's cool. It's a cool card. It's I don't think it'll ruin your Goth quiz.
I mean, hopefully there's no wrong answers here.
Yeah.
Next question. Which of these words appeals to you? Apathy, blood, uprising, electricity, dazzle, or nature?
Okay, well, being the edgy vamp queen that I am, I have to click blood. It's required.
You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You're just doing what the people want. I'm between electricity or dazzle.
I'm going with dazzle.
All right, then
I guess you get electricity.
Yeah, I'm gonna take electricity just so we can maybe be different. Because Leland and I, we've been friends for a long ass time, and as many differences as we do have, there are a lot of commonalities, and we very, very easily could end up with the same answer. All right, next question. Which band would you most like to meet?
Ooh.
Susie and the Banshees, Black Audio, The Cure, Corpse, which I only know Cannibal Corpse, My Chemical Romance, and the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. I don't know why the Yeah Yeah Yeahs.
A lot of these are not goth bands, just to say. Like, My Chem is not a goth band. Corpse Husband, not goth. Yeah Yeah Yeahs.
Oh, it's Corpse Husband? Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's short for Corpse Husband.
Okay.
He's like, kind of more of a rapper. I don't know why he's on this list.
All right.
I love Black Audio. Like, I love Davey Havoc.
Mhm.
But if I could meet Robert Smith or Susie Sue, that would probably be cooler.
That's where you go?
I kind of maybe would say The Cure because I want to meet Robert Smith. So I'm going to say The Cure.
Fair. Absolutely fair. Leland, what do you feel?
Oh,
I feel you're going Susie.
Oh, of
Yeah,
course.
that's what I thought. I'm a Gerard Way fan.
She confuddles me greatly as I get older, but I want to know more.
I'm a Gerard Way fan from like comic books and shit as well. So
I love
I'll
him
go.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll go Chemical Romance for sure.
Okay.
All right. What is your Patronus? Cat, bat, lion, sparrow, unicorn, otter.
I take umbrage with this because you can't
Which
choose
one?
your Patronus. It comes
Yeah.
to you.
It's not asking you to choose. It's asking you what is it. These are just of the
I did
options.
Pottermore, 50, 100 years ago, and I don't remember what it was. I think it might have been a cat, but I like bats better.
What does your black heart call for?
I'm gonna say bat.
I'm for sure going cat.
A good choice.
Oh, weird as this next statement might be, I want to go with the sparrow.
Unicorn? Sparrow.
No, sparrows are cool.
Yeah. I don't know why that seemed to be the one
It's
that
calling
called
to
me.
you.
Yep.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Pick a flower. Sage, magnolia. I'm gonna just take some shots.
Acanthus.
Acanthus, yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
Neither do I. Lily, candy tuft. Which now this quiz is trolling us. And a black-eyed Susan.
I'm gonna say lily because I like how they smell.
Yeah. Yeah, I only know what a lily, a magnolia, and sage look like. I do not know what those other things even might resemble. I would go lily too, though, of what I do understand. I'm real curious what a black-eyed Susan is, though.
Seen one? That's the state flower of Maryland, I think.
Is it?
There's a
So
lot out here. Yeah.
You should know.
No,
Yeah,
I
like,
knew
yeah,
that one. I said I didn't
what's
know
it look
what
like?
It's almost like if you took a daisy, but the middle's black, brown, like coffee brown,
Okay.
and then the petals are like gold yellow.
That's cool.
And they kind of have like a wiry, like almost like bushy green part. But yeah.
Like industrial goth daisy.
I don't know about that. They're very bright and yellow, so.
Oh, okay, a little more bright.
Yeah, like the petals are bright yellow, so.
What one you for?
My heart goes to lily, but I looked up what an acanthus was, and it's metal as fuck. So I'm gonna change my answer.
Okay.
Okay, everybody Google that.
So it's fine.
So,
all right, next question. What's your ideal date? Dinner and a movie? Anything that involves a mosh pit? A fancy restaurant with a view? A hike and picnic lunch? A trip to an old library? Take me to a rave. Now, for a goth quiz, a hike and a picnic lunch do not belong here. I know we got our white goths and whatnot these days, but
unless it's like that video, it's like goths dancing under bridge. Like if you
Sure.
had a picnic under
they're in the
bridge.
shade though.
Yeah.
They're not
They're not
hiking.
in the sun.
Yeah, they're not in the
I guess
sun.
that's not a hike really. You're right.
No.
picnic at night?
Oh, in the graveyard.
A picnic at night,
That's
that'd be
goth.
fine. But hiking at night, that's not safe.
Do you think goths care what's safe? Would your mom like it? No, then it's cool.
Fair. That is solid goth logic.
Yeah.
I'm a basic bitch. I'm going with dinner and a movie.
I'm gonna go with dinner and a movie too because that's like my honest answer.
Yeah, honest answer, it's mine as well. Fancy restaurant with a view kind of seems nice, like specifically depending on the restaurant. There are definitely some cool restaurants, but like fancy restaurant makes me think like this is gonna be fucking expensive. and I've got boots and capes to buy.
See, now, in my mind, though, that would be like, he's taking me to dinner. Like, I'm not paying, but I'm also a woman. So.
Yeah. Oh, we've had a whole conversation. We went about, what was maybe 10 minutes when the question was asked, like, what's your ideal date? And for Leland, myself, and Jordan, we were always in the mindset of like, well, what we provide as a date and not if we were taken on a date. It took us forever to change our mindset of like, oh, we could be treated this
you
for
mean
us?
taking me on a date? Yeah.
What? Yeah, so I'll go dinner and a movie. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
Next up, which of these songs speak to you? Need You Tonight by INXS, Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, Girls Not Grey by AFI, Dark Entries by Bauhaus, Love Will Tear Us Apart by Joy Division, and Star Shopping by Lil Peep.
Little Peep grouped with Goth stuff. I don't understand it.
You know what Lil Peep is?
I think he's also. I thought he was also a rapper. I could be wrong, but
I mean, if it's a little something, I assume rapper.
Yeah, I thought he was a rapper, which is not goth music. It might be alternative, but it's not goth. Goth is like a specific thing. Here I am being like a gatekeeper. Like, you're not really goth.
I remember a subsection of hip hop tried to like kind of embrace it when there was horrorcore. I think there was a subsect of ICP who had maybe some songs. I know it existed, but I mean, none of it like was anything that I was into.
Yeah, I don't know.
It felt like trying hard. Everything that I
it wasn't
was exposed
natural, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, for me, while I love Girls Not Grey, love that song. I think my favorite out of this list is Dark Entries by Bauhaus.
Solid. Leland, can I guess yours?
You can go right ahead.
I'm gonna guess Fleetwood Mac.
No.
I know you love a Stevie Nicks.
I do.
I love her too.
But I like. Well, now you made me question everything.
Hey, follow your black heart. That's what this is all about. I'm Joy Division. All right.
Yeah.
That'd probably be.
There are a lot of good choices on that one.
I mean, almost all of them.
Yeah.
I will go AFI. Definitely one of my top favorite bands.
Me too.
And I'm finally gonna go see them next month.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Do it.
All right, on to the next one.
Pick
a book.
I feel we're gonna pick all the same book.
This is easy. It's Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you guys actually read it?
Yes.
I've tried.
I loved it. I read it in the 8th grade and not for school. Like, I was just edgy and I was like, oh my God, I have to read it.
I remember
so I read it in 8th grade.
10th, 11th grade. It was in the school library. So I checked it out and I tried reading it. I am notoriously a bad reader. So I had the movie. I just did that and assume it is word for word the same.
No, it's very different. I think it's funny how and I want to reread it because when I read it, I really did not get. It's very dry. I did not get a very romantic vibe at all.
Yeah.
And so many movies. Every movie turns it into this romantic movie, and I'm like, the book's really not. The book is a horror. It's really not romantic at all.
No, Mina was just a meal to him for the majority of that book.
Yeah, it's not like that. He's not he's not wooing her. There's none of that. The sexiest part of the book is she's like, me and Jonathan got married and we had a baby. The end.
There's none of that oceans of time bullshit.
None of that. None of that at all. I mean, whoever wrote that, kudos, because it shaped
it's a good story by itself.
But not part of the book.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely have not read any of these other books. I didn't even know The Devil Wears Prada was a book. I just assumed it was only the movie.
Actually, didn't know that either. I love that movie though.
I know of Slaughterhouse-Five. Of course, I know of 1984. Of course, Hunger Games. I don't know what Tranny is. But I mean, Dracula. We're just Dracula across the board.
Yep.
The book. All right. Next up, where would you want to visit? Amsterdam, Prague, Area 51. They can't stop us all. Paris, New York City, or Ibiza.
Been to New York City many times. I also live not that far from New York, so I would probably like to go to Paris. I think that's my top on this list.
Yeah.
Because I'm a basic bitch.
Hey, Paris is metal as fuck. They've got all the catacombs underneath with like
That's
just
true.
walls of skulls. Yeah, there's a darkness in Paris. It's not
There
all
is.
just roses
Have you
and
seen
fucking...
As Above, So Below?
No, I keep it's on my list to
It's
do. And
really
I just...
good. It's a good
Yeah.
movie. It's not
That's
just
what I've
like
heard.
scary. It's got a good plot. It's really
Right on.
good. I would
Right
recommend.
on. It's just one of those that like, okay, got to do it at some point. Just not today. I don't feel like it today.
I actually own it. I like all my friends who haven't seen it. I'm like, we're sitting down and watching it right now.
We got the Ragnarok seal of approval.
Yes, it does. It really does.
I'm kind of torn between Amsterdam and Prague.
Yeah, those are good too.
Like I definitely have to leave the country. I
Yes.
gotta move to another continent. Prague has such like an awesome like goth vibe to it. But like Amsterdam, anything goes.
Yeah, I think Amsterdam is like, I think of like going crazy, like
Yeah.
partying hard.
You okay there, Leland?
I just
You good, champ?
your whole stipulation of like, oh no, man, red light district. I'm good.
And drugs. I could do both.
Well, so my answer's not any better. So you know.
And what
I'm
is
just
your
gonna-
answer?
Oh, it's Paris, but
Okay.
because they got Disneyland.
That's valid. That's valid.
And the skulls.
And the cool skulls.
You can do them
I'm
both.
terrified of getting lost in the catacombs. If I ever visit, I am going to be like hugging my tour guide. Like, I don't want to get lost down there.
I've heard of people like tell stories about being down there, and you are just like unfucking supervised down there. Like it is not like a tour
Entrances,
like you would
like,
imagine.
There's entrances like all over the city that are like,
Yeah.
some aren't like marked even. That's
You
that's
legit
scary.
lost.
That's scary.
That's so insane to me. You're just like, what do you mean? You still don't know all your exits and
No,
entries
and it's
into
like-
this
Yeah.
place?
It's not mapped out because like, and then
Mhm.
some stuff is like collapsed and like, you know,
It's crazy that they let people go down there like just in such an unsafe environment.
Yeah, no, I would be claustrophobic. Also, that movie will make you claustrophobic.
Got
That
it.
shit is scary.
I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna go. Fuck it. I'm going to Amsterdam.
I feel that Area 51 on that was dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they're mostly good options,
they
but there's
pick-
always one.
they pick like really memey, like silly. There's like one in there,
Yeah.
you know, that doesn't fit. That's how they weed him out. They're like,
Yep.
you're not a real goth. You're a fake goth.
You know what? I'm gonna go back through this and pick all those dumb answers and see
And see what you
happens.
get. Wouldn't it be funny
Yeah.
if it was like you're not?
You're
Like,
just
if
not.
You,
Yeah.
if
that
you
would-
know, you know, and you don't know.
All right. Last question of the quiz. Which of these albums speak to you? Ruiner by Nothing Nowhere, Substance from New Order, Ocean Rain from Echo and the Bunnymen, Lungs by Florence and the Machine, Tiger Army from Tiger Army, and The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars from David Bowie. Hands down, David Bowie.
Lungs. I gotta
Mhm.
say, Lungs by Florence and the Machine.
That's
I
a
was
great
obsessed with that album for so
Yeah.
long.
That
It's a
is- It is
beautiful
amazing.
work
Everything
of art.
on that album is like, it flows perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
That's a
Yeah.
perfect album.
but I'm older, so Bowie.
Okay, I'm gonna say Florence and the Machine.
Yeah. That
'Cause
album
I'm young.
specifically. That album specifically is formative to me.
Yeah. Okay, I have my result. It's
All
not
right.
shocking.
Well, what are you?
I got Vampire Goth. Who would have thunk it?
Nailed it. You're on
Shocking.
brand.
Very on brand.
Leland, what do you got?
I got the glam goth.
Interesting. We'll need to make you match that.
Which
aesthetic.
tracks? Like,
I see it.
yeah.
If there was an old school goth option, I have no idea. I would certainly place you in that. I got cyber goth, which I did change
Cool.
like one or two answers because we were all kind of stacking up. The first time I took this quiz, I did get glam goth, which that one I saw. I'm like, oh really? I saw that one. I'm like, I see where you're going with it because I do like to get fancy. And I've never been the goth that is self-serious, and a glam goth seems like they can be fun with who they are.
They have a good time.
Yeah. Cyber goth, I don't have enough tendril inserts for that.
Yeah.
I don't wear enough neon.
The gold is stripe.
You don't dance under a bridge.
I don't
I
own a
love
single
that
pair
video.
of Jinkos. Yeah, that's classic.
That video is so good. It makes me so happy every time I see it.
I've never seen a song that did not go fantastic.
I know the beat goes with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As much as I hate this song, I think my favorite is "All I Want for Christmas Is You," the Mariah Carey version.
Yeah. That's every year it pops up. It's so
Yeah.
funny. Love that.
Let's see. I know. Beck in chat. OG got casual goth, which I'm curious, like what defines casual goth?
Interesting. I kind of thought I was gonna get that, but the funny thing is, like, I'm a real nerd about the music and like the subculture. I just might not dress super goth all the time. So I think on the inside, I actually am definitely not a casual.
We're all casual goths, and then when we put it on, then we fall into a separate category.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
Yeah, we were talking before we came onto the stream about like there are the times you dress up, and that is what like everyone thinks of when like
that's
they
why you
think about
post
that
online.
goth. Yeah. But every other time you've just like, oh well, this is my least faded black shirt and some sweats, and I'm just doing whatever. Like you're still a real person.
You have a life, and life gets in the way. So
yeah,
you can't wear your Dracula cape everywhere you go, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, not.
When I'm an eccentric rich person, I will bring the cape back into fashion. I'm telling you.
Who's gonna tell you no? You got too much money.
That's it. That's the goal.
You got all that comic book money. You just do whatever you want.
I want like comic books and movies and TV shows, and then I can wear all the weird capes that I want, and no one can tell me otherwise.
There you go. So just to wrap back around to the comic, so I'm sorry I have to keep looking up because I can't memorize
It's okay.
things.
It's long.
So I worked at the mall, the vampire cult story. I found when I finally read it, I was surprised because the art style is totally different than what you've been posting on your Instagram.
Very. It's kind of funny. It's like a gag, like goofy, cartoony thing that people definitely don't expect from me. But
when I was looking at it, I got like Scott Pilgrim.
That's kind of the vibe I was going for. Yeah, it was like a Scott Pilgrim vibe.
And with the inserts, like you've got fun gag ads.
Yeah.
I was like, those felt like Jonan Vasquez inserts.
I love him. I actually didn't think of that, but I guess you're right.
He didn't really do those as a full page ad like yours are,
sure.
But the vibe of like it's tongue in cheek kind of
world building of a type of company. I guess that would be like that. I love Jonan Vasquez. I was really into his work as a teenager.
A little bit disdain for its own audience.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like I said, I make fun of the Matrix coat wearers, but I'm one of them, so it's like endearing.
You got to be able to make fun of yourself a little bit.
Exactly. I'm making fun of myself. I too worked at the mall.
So you're which is more your natural art style, the comic or what you've been doing? I assume what you've been doing on your like Instagram and your live drawings.
What I do on my Instagram, which I guess you could call like limited color, like semi-realism, is like my favorite thing to do. And I would call that like my signature look. And then the cartoony thing, I mean, I kind of like to do a little bit of everything. I do like, I used to do hyper realistic graphite drawings. Like, I like to do everything. So I don't like to like limit myself to one style.
Sure.
And I think the style needs to kind of match the theme. So because it is such a silly story, it's like, it's goofy, it's very expressive. I wanted to show that with that cartoony style. And because my other stories are a lot more like serious and kind of mature, you know, like that's reflected in how it's drawn. So that's like, I just kind of am flexible in like the style that I work in.
So the next book is going to have the style we've been seeing on your Instagram.
I did a couple of, do you mean like the black, white, and red, or?
Well, I mean, at the very least, the art style changed. The more focus on realism, like all the cross hatching.
Yeah.
All the finer work. Is that what we're going to see in the next book?
You will see that in my work on the main storyline of lesser known comics. So it'll look like that. I also have an ash can with them. That's also on the website. It's lesser known comics number 4. Yeah.
You do an anthology book, I should point out.
Yeah, where all of our artists like do different sections of a greater story. So that is a lot more like what I do on my Instagram, that more realistic like look. So you will see more of that. Also in my personal work, there's like a personal project that I'm working on, and my main work with Less Known Comics, and then you will also see more of So I Worked at the Mall. So you will see more of both. Is my answer.
There we go. Yeah, now we're showing.
Yeah, there we go.
Right there on the feed.
But yeah, like I said, I like to kind of do it all. So
you've been focusing, at least in the art you've been putting up, all like the original characters, right?
Yeah,
these aren't real people.
Yeah, no. These are I have a couple of fan arts thrown in there, and the rest are my original characters for my personal project Scorned. Which isn't like, I'm still kind of writing stuff and I'm still figuring out like production and whatnot, but it's also, it's kind of on the side because like I don't get paid to do that one. So it gets like kind of thrown to the side, and I like to imagine stuff and then I like put it on my Instagram. So it helps fuel my Instagram feed, but you know, it's kind of on the back burner right now. But yeah, that's a lot of what's on my Instagram.
Jordan, I see you in the chat. Feel free to scroll down. I've been following Charlie for a while. The spicy stuff is edited. You got to go to her Patreon for that.
I do have a Patreon, yes, with the spicy stuff. So if you want to see these same characters in, you know, more exciting scenarios, that's on my Patreon.
Exciting scenarios, I like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we don't want to keep you too late. We know you've got victims to find.
Yeah, so, such is the life of a vampire goth.
Right. We got work at Spencer's in the morning.
Yeah, you know.
Got that opening shift, yeah.
You got that opening shift. I gotta glare at the piercing pagoda girls, you know how it is.
Oh, as many like hookups, there are equal many rivalries.
Between breakups. Don't even get me started. There's like baby daddies and baby mamas, and like it's a whole
mall is
production.
its own ecosystem.
Truly, its own biome.
But anybody who wants to get more of your art and see what you're going on with, let everyone know where to find you.
Okay, so I'm mostly reachable on Instagram, which is Charlie Ragnarok. My Twitter is also Charlie Ragnarok. Patreon is also Charlie Ragnarok. And most of my published work, or actually all of my published work, is on lesserknowncomics.com. So check it out.
That's what we like to call unified branding.
Hey, I try.
So you can get, so I worked at the mall, the Vampire Cult story on Lesser Known Comics. Again, if you want to just go through, just buy one of everything. We're going to be talking to a lot of those other artists and writers. And get that sweet discount, baby. LORC 15 promo code.
You got a discount.
And that way you'll be up on everyone else is going to be coming out. You'll be helping out our friends, Digital Lizards of Doom. They're some of the purest human beings. Gabe is just the biggest sweetheart.
Truly an angel.
Absolutely. If you want to get more of our specific shenanigans, we'll be back here on Sunday for LORC Gaming, where we will do, I think Overcooked is for sure, because we got to get good at that. And we'll probably finish with a little Red Dead since we didn't do it last week. Podcast is every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where Jordan and Steph will all be here goofing off, getting ridiculous. It's in the name. Thank you, Charlie, so much for joining us. I think this was not a catastrophe. I think this went pretty well.
Success, in fact. Yeah.
Could we be so bold and to say that we are now friends with Charlie Ragnarok?
Yeah, I'll let you say that. We're friends.
Leland, we did it. We've been wondering how to make friends as adults. Turns out you got to get a podcast. And
you have to find weirdos on the internet and then invite them to your podcast.
Fair.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is how we do it. Thank you again so much. And thank you everyone who joined us tonight out there in chat. We all learned what kind of goths we are. So let's take that into our black hearts and go forward and be the spookiest little goths that we possibly can be.
Your cape flap in the wind and let bats fly behind you.
Just like Luke Evans and Dracula Untold.
Just like Luke Evans.
All right. Thank you, everybody.